Hello, Kelly. How are you doing? So glad to see you. Give me a couple seconds here. Hoping you're having a great night. And I see that there's 6 people here, actually 7 now. So glad to see you. Jen is off to the left here. I got my son Manny over here off to the left also. So let me give you the proper welcome. Oops.
Hi, everybody.
Come on, my volume. There it is. Okay, let me try this again.
Acknowledge me.
There, you have been acknowledged. Spirit Stalker is in the house. Thank you so much for being here. I just noticed I had that volume. So let me do that again.
Acknowledge me.
Now you have been acknowledged. Christian, how are you doing?
Acknowledge me.
Natalie Wolf, how are you doing?
Acknowledge me.
Pam Syme, how are you doing?
Acknowledge me.
So glad that you guys can come in today. As the title says, today's What is Your Paranormal Story? And what I want to do is welcome you up here and tell your paranormal story. You don't have to stay, and if you don't want to show your face, you don't have to show your face. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in the chat shortly. You can come right up on the Zoom and share your paranormal story because we would love to hear it. I'm quite sure everybody that's in here has a good paranormal story to share. So I want to hear your story. And there's been so many people that's been wanting me to do this. I decided last week it was Corey that brought it up, and I said, you know what? That's what I'm going to make today's thing. Today is what's your story? So I am glad to see that you guys are here. So, so wonderful. If you could, I'm hoping you did. You probably did. And that's make sure you hit that like button. We appreciate that too. And if you want to share us out as well. I also want to give a shout out also to all our Facebook paranormal groups. And you know who you are. Also, our Facebook cryptic groups. Shout out to you also. If you guys love anything with the paranormal and cryptids, go by Facebook and look in the Facebook groups and join a group and listen to the stories and even share your story. Put your story out there. Go by Facebook. And we have so many paranormal groups, it's too many to name. And that's why I just say go by Facebook and check out the paranormal groups and listen to the stories, watch some lives from Facebook, or join the group and have fun. That's the main thing. It's just to have fun, you know. Yeah, she's a little down. She's in real bad pain because she was painting the bathroom and her back is killing her. So she's been really putting a lot into it. And so shout out to my wife. Love my wife. And she's been busy all day today. And plus the other reason, we have, as a lot of you know, we have 3 boys with special needs. So it's hard for me to post as to when a definite time I will show up, or even post ahead of time. And so I don't do that because there's times I'll be a half hour late, or even longer than that, because like I said, we have three boys with special needs. So they come first. And when you have three boys, especially two of them with autism, it could be so poetic. Brenda Hall, how are you doing? Love to you.
Acknowledge me.
So glad that you came in. Adventures with Beth, how are you doing?
Acknowledge me.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, if you want to come up, anybody, I'm going to put a link in here in a few minutes to come up. And what I want you to do, like I said, if you don't want to show your face, your beautiful face, you don't want to show your face, you don't have to. But we love to hear your paranormal story. KJ down under, how you doing, KJ?
Acknowledge me.
Little Patty, how are you doing?
Acknowledge me.
Thank you so much for being Boomer D. How are you doing?
Acknowledge me.
Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna get ready to put a link in here. And like I said, if you have a paranormal story, we'd love to hear it. If you don't want to show your face, you don't have to, but we'd love to see a lovely face, and but before I do that also, I want you to do another favor for me and you. I want you to say these three words. I love me. Let's say it one more time. I love me. Because you cannot love anything until you love yourself first. Whether it be God, whether it be your car, your job, your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, you can't love anything until you love yourself first. Put yourself first. If you believe in God, it's God, yourself, and then everything after that. So let's just remember to love ourselves, and we love you. Little Patty said, "Where's Jen at?" Jen is right here to the left. She's not up here right now because she was painting the bathroom, and she has got really bad back pain right now. That's why if you look in the background, you see that ladder right there, because that's what she's been standing on, and she's doing a lot of bending. And so she's here. She is here, but she's only going to show up in the chat because she don't have her face on and all that stuff. And I think she looked good without it. That's just my own opinion. Oh, you do have your face on? Oh, you sure do. Well, I don't have my face on, and I still look good. I'm just reading some of y'all in the chat. Everybody saying hello to everybody. I want everybody to also check each other out. Now, if you have a channel, I want you to put your channel link in the description, or not even even in the description box, but also put your channel link in the chat because I want people to come by and check you out. Yeah, see, Popeye even said the same thing. Put it in the chat. That's right, Popeye. He said it in barking terms. Put it in the chat. KJ says she's sending prayers to you, Jim. Boomer said, well, how would she see to type in the chat if she didn't have a face on? You know what I meant by face, Boomer. Her makeup, the girly thing that the girls they always gotta look good, looking at themselves in the mirror, always asking me, like my wife would ask me, does my butt look big? Just saying. So let me go on ahead and get ready to drop this link in here. And oh, it's the wrong one. That's wrong. And put it right here. Now, if you have a paranormal story, I would love for you to come up and share your story. And like I said, if you don't want to show your face, you don't have to show your face. But we'd love to hear your story. So all you have to do is jump on that Zoom right there. I put the link in there and come up and tell your story. And if you're new here, if anybody's watching and you're new, we'd love to have you as part of our family. Just hit that subscribe button. It's free, doesn't cost you a dime, not even a penny. It is free. We'd love to have you. But yeah, if you want to share a paranormal story, please come up and share your story. We'd love to hear it. KJ, if you want to come up, Boomer D, Yvonne, if you would like to come up, and Yvonne, you have some good stories. I'd love for you to come up. Pam, if you would like to come up, all you have to do is hit that link and come on up. We love to hear your paranormal story. Boomer said, honey, do my jeans make my butt look big? No, sweetie, your butt makes your butt look big. You know, Boomer, I have to do this. That was pretty funny. I'm too shy. Yvonne, like I said, you don't have to show your face. All you have to do is come up and tell your story. Don't be shy. Give it a try. Love to have you. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have Beth in the house. So let's give Beth a nice warm welcome. Jason Finch, so good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for coming in. And Beth, thank you also for coming in.
In Spirit Talker, you are not shy. Come on.
I know. I don't know what Yvonne even talking about. She's shy. No, you ain't. You ain't shy. My voice is too shy. My voice is too boisterous. Just saying, come on up here, Yvonne. You know you got the gift. Just like me, you got the gift of gab. So come up and tell your story. But first, we're gonna listen to Beth.
Hi, Patty.
How you doing?
Okay, I'm okay. Hey, it's better than bad.
Antonio Zapata, thank you for so much for being here. Welcome. You are so welcome here. So tell us your story.
Well, as most of you know, I live in a spirited house. I don't like saying haunted house,
Right.
because my house was built on a Civil War battleground.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is. Lots goes on here. And I'm on a couple of ley lines, and there's also an Indian burial ground here and a family cemetery and a pet cemetery.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you live also near a pet cemetery?
in my backyard.
That's crazy. That's also cool.
Yeah, I have a cat, an unknown cat that goes through my house all the time. It catches me off guard.
Let me ask you, do you by any chance happen to hear, like animals maybe?
Oh, yeah. In fact, it happened earlier today. I do have two kittens, but I heard a cat meow and I looked and they were both sound asleep.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting. See, I've always wondered about that when if people live near or even right close to a pet cemetery, if they heard pets, especially if people did not have pets. You know,
So I,
Antonio has a question for me. He said, I have a question for you. What do you think my comment about my favorite bowling alley, Turner Club? What I think about your comment? Um, I thought your comment was cool there, Antonio. I really did. But as you were saying, Beth,
well, I do have pets currently, but I've had pets in the present that are also in the backyard.
so do you think that maybe your pets interact with the pets that we can't see?
Oh, I know they do because I see them playing with nothing.
That's crazy. And you're right, because usually when you see them playing with nothing, you know they're playing with something or
Oh
something.
yeah, I
So
just don't see it.
yes, I agree with you on that.
There's one corner in particular that they're always talking to and swatting at. So
Hmm. So how about a paranormal story? You got a story? Hello, hello, hello. It's
I
Amy.
guess that I guess the funniest paranormal story. Whoops.
Well, if you can think of a story, let me know. But KJ is here. It's Australia. So let's give a huge shout out to KJ. Thank you, KJ, so much for being here. And of course, let me get you a nice round of applause. There you are, KJ. Are you there? Did I lose KJ? Can you hear us, KJ?
She put in a private chat. I'm waiting to join.
Okay, let me see. What is going on with that?
Hello.
Okay, I hear you now.
Yep, there she is.
Hi.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm gonna be late for my own funeral. How are you doing, KJ?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
We are doing great. What time is it where you are right now?
It's 11:25 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, no wonder you got so much pep. And we are kind of so why don't you tell us your paranormal story?
I've got many, but I guess this would be my favorite one.
This would be my favorite one.
My mother passed away
My mother passed
30
away
years ago,
30
Hold on.
years ago.
Somebody's got
and
Somebody's got,
do me a favor. I need everybody
I
to
need everybody to
mute.
yeah, feedback.
feedback.
Right, because of the feedback. So there we go.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, on my mother's side of the family, very intuitive people, because Irish, and before she passed away, she promised me that she would come and let me know that she was around. So after she passed away, my mother died of lung cancer, and my children and I were all smokers at the time that she passed away, and so she said that was our choice, it was our body, but she wasn't impressed because she died of lung cancer. So that was fine. So we all moved into our little house and we're all smoking away. And then one day we got up and we could not find a lighter. I couldn't find a box of matches, a cigarette lighter. Even we had a gas stove lighter. That was gone, completely disappeared. We searched the house. We pulled it apart because if you're a smoker yourself or even you know that coffee and that first smoke in the morning is your kickstarter. And so we searched the house, tore it apart, like just everywhere. And next to our refrigerator in our kitchen, there was a drawer that didn't have a handle on it. So, like, it was basically not in use. So finally, my son says to me, I'm just going to check the drawer. So he actually had to push the refrigerator out of the way. He opened up the drawer and there was every cigarette lighter, every box of matches, and even our stove lighter. And my children went, Nana. And that's my paranormal story. And not only that, she used to walk around the house. The kids used to say, I saw Nan last night. Like, yeah, whatever.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
And so
And you know what? We've all given up smoking.
this every night?
It happened. Well, seeing her and hearing her was every night because when I moved, I took some of her furniture with us, and I actually took her recliner rocker, which she just because she was, very ill, and she liked to sit there because it was comfortable. And many times my children would go out to get a glass of water, and her recliner rocker would be rocking.
Wow.
Just rocking constantly. And the kids said to him a few times, we saw Nana. Just saw Nana standing at the end of our bed, or we just saw Nana here, or that. So she stayed around maybe for a good year, and then we moved and came back up here to Queensland, and I brought her ashes with me, and she haunted that house as well. We had those like glass beads in the doors. You'd see her doing it. She was walking through them. You could see them open up and then swing like that after she'd turned lights on and off. And then finally I put her to rest. I buried her ashes and the haunting stopped straight away, like that day.
Wow, maybe that was the message that she was trying to give you. You think?
Yes, she wasn't resting in peace. So, so I decided to put her, because she wanted to be put to rest, but I didn't want to put her in another state because I wanted her to be close to, because my sisters and I all live in Queensland, and I wanted her to be close to us, to her family. So, yeah, that was my choice not to, but once I buried her, everything went so quiet, and I could almost feel it, like feel her letting go.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make you like letting go? Because I think that I was very disrespectful. I should have respected her wishes right then, and that was my selfishness because I didn't want to let her go. So I really believe that if your parents say, "Please put me to rest straight away," you should, because that's for you, not for them. Just you've got to respect who they are.
And I agree with you because it sometimes when things happen and we
Yes.
really catch the message,
Yes.
later on down the road,
Yes.
and that's what she was doing to you. She was letting you know that she needs to cross over. In order for her to cross
Yes.
over, you have to let her go. So if you don't let
Yeah.
her cross over, and so you finally did that, and look what happened.
Yes. Exactly. And I feel sometimes with hauntings, it's because the people that were alive, the person's family wasn't alive, and they didn't let her go, and then they passed away by not, and they didn't let them, so they haunt because they're still waiting for someone to say, go and be happy, go to God and go to heaven and be happy.
Mhm.
And I feel like, people say, oh, it could be because of trauma. I think the trauma is the fact that we don't let them go before we go. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, because when we lose someone, especially when we're
Yes.
close, now it could be brother, sister, son, daughter, mother, father,
Mhm.
it's hard to let go.
Yes.
It's really hard, but we have to learn to. I'm not going to say we have to. We have to
No.
learn to because it's a learning experience. And one of the things
Yeah.
I had to learn is that when they leave here, we know that they're in a better place.
Yeah.
But in order for them to really get there, we have to let them go.
Yes.
And that's
Because
the thing.
they stay for the love. See, they know, because they love you as much as you love them. And they just stay because, you can't. It's really hard to explain, but it's like you have to let go of that love because it's like an anchor for them.
Right. And
You know?
especially if someone
Yeah.
lost a wife or a husband, that
Yes.
significant other. It's so hard to let go, but
Oh, definitely.
you have to,
Yeah.
Andrew, thank you so much for being here, sir. So, I feel you and you did the right thing. And she is also not only at peace with herself, but she's also at peace with you because
Yeah, and that's important.
right, you did something she wanted you to do a long time ago, and you finally did it, and now she's at rest.
Yes.
But
Yes.
so is your mind. Your mind is also at rest because a lot of the things that was happening because of her is
Hmm.
now subsided because of her.
Exactly. And I think everyone deserves to rest in peace.
Right. And that's what we need to do. And like I said, and we both said it, it's not easy sometimes to
No,
let go. When I was married to my first wife, it was not easy for me to let her go. Because
no,
she
of
passed
course
away,
not.
she was years old, and she died having my son. And that was the hardest thing for me to do. So every time I was, even a year or two later, I was still, you know, think that I have the ring on my finger, but she's not here. And I would tell people,
Yeah.
no, I'm married, and knowing that I'm a widow. And we never intend on playing that role,
No,
so
exactly.
people that get married, you got to understand when that pastor says, till death do us part, really pay attention to that. I was only 20 years old and I really paid it no
Um,
attention. Now I'm with my wife now. Yes, I do.
yeah.
I pay it attention, you know. So
Yeah.
that's a heck of a story. That really is.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Janet,
I still, because I'm psychic. I still see Mum now and again. She'll pop in and say hello.
right, because she's not gonna be gone. She's gonna be gone
No.
from she's gone from flesh, but she's not
Yes.
gone.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's where we want to hold on to the flesh and we forget about the soul when
Right,
when we're grieving.
right. We all
Yeah.
do. We forget about the
Mm.
soul, so and everybody gotta remember this body that we have, this is just temporary housing. Just temporary.
Yes.
Because then once you leave here, you are a ball of energy. And this is my understanding, my thought process of this is when we leave here, we know where we want to go. It's up to us where we want to go. If you're going
Yes.
to stay, you're going to stay, but you know which path to go. You're going to be
Hmm.
direct. Your family members may come down and grab your hand, and you might say, hold on a second. I have unfinished business here. you know. So
Hmm.
that's just my opinion, because I also feel that we lived a life before this,
Me
hence
too.
hence the words deja vu, where you see things and like, wait a minute, I've seen this before, but you can't remember what time or place.
Yes.
So
My mother was a really strong. We go so she go, oh, I've been here before. Oh, as soon as she walked through the door, she'd go to me, oh, I've been here before,
right,
Karen. And I'm like, really?
right.
All the time. All the time.
I get that all the time. I'm always getting a deja vu of someplace I've been, but I know I
Mm.
haven't been till that
Yeah.
moment. Only that
Yes.
moment.
Yep. we went to another country and she walked into a restaurant. She said, "Oh, I've been here before." I said, "You weren't even born here. You were born in Australia." "I've still been here before." She said.
You know, speaking of that, I remember a few years back, and I put this on my YouTube and on my TikTok. I seen a grave, a headstone that had my full name. And that is the eeriest thing to see. Someone that passes away that had your full name.
Wow.
And that's on I got it on TikTok. I'm like, it blew my mind. It my full name.
It blows my mind.
Yeah. And I tell
Wow.
you, that will blow your mind to see your full name on a headstone.
That's crazy.
Everyday treasures, thank you so much for being here. And Janet Sarlo, thank you so much for being here. So,
Well, I'll step back and give someone else a chance to come up and have a chat. And thank you for the invitation.
oh,
And God bless you.
and we have nothing but love for you. You know that, KJ.
Oh, absolutely. It comes back a million times.
Yes, ma'am, it sure does. Thank you so much for being here. You guys
Thank
give
you.
it up KJ Paranormal Down Under, and make sure you put your link in that channel in that chat again so people can come by and check you out.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And now we're gonna go back to Adventures with Beth. Beth, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that means you should have another great paranormal story for us.
I actually have a funny one.
Great,
It
we
was,
love to hear it.
um, as some people know, um, Through the Veil Paranormal used
Yes,
to live with me.
I didn't
And,
know that.
oh, yeah,
I did not know that. They live with you now?
for the better part of 2 years.
Oh my goodness. A huge shout out to Through the Veil Paranormal because I've been subscribed to them for a couple years now. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, tell us.
Um, and shortly after she got here, she came out of her bedroom and she's like, "Beth, why are the BBs falling from my ceiling?" And I'm like, "What?" She says, "Come here." So I went down the back of the house to her bedroom, and sure enough, there were BBs falling from the ceiling.
Wow. Really?
And I came back out where I am now, and she followed me, and she's like, "Do you have an answer?" I'm like, "I wish I did." And then BB started falling from the ceiling in the living room too.
That's crazy. So
And
y'all were both seeing this.
everybody in the house did.
Wow, did you ever figure out why
There,
that
there
was?
was there was 6 people in the house at the time, and we all saw it.
That's crazy.
Well, come around the beginning of October, I asked Nicole to come into. I have a walk-in closet that has all my holiday decorations in it, and I asked her to come help me with the Halloween stuff. And
Uh,
she did. We got all Halloween decorations out of there. I turned out the light, shut the door. There was a huge crash in there,
wow, really?
gigantic crash. And I looked at her, she looked at me. And I'm like, I suppose I better check that out. So I opened up the door, turned on the light, and I'm like, "Nicole, remember those BBs? Where was I just standing?" And she looked, she goes, "Oh my God, it's a BB gun and a container of BBs." I
Wow.
said, "Sure is." And all I could do is look up and say thank you. You know, I mean,
Right.
I knew I had the BB gun in the container of BBs, but when the BBs started falling from the ceiling, the gun and the BBs weren't in that closet like they should have been.
Right.
So I got pranksters here.
Do you do you possibly quite possibly know the meaning behind it?
No,
I was curious, maybe if you might have known.
if they were trying to get our attention, they sure did that.
Yeah, and you're right. That definitely would grab my attention. So I agree with you.
But
Dollz Dolly, so glad to see you, ma'am. So glad you came in.
all we could do was laugh about it, though. I mean, it was a little irritating. We had to keep picking them up, but
Yeah, because that's very interesting. That is very interesting. You okay?
but recently I've thought about, hey, you know what? I'm on a Civil War battleground. That's a gun, or gun, a pew pew with BBs.
Wow.
I got to change the way I think here. If it was you, Ben, I wouldn't doubt it.
Dollz Dolly, I know you got some paranormal stories. Now, Dollz Dolly, she does auctions, but she also dives or delves into the paranormal. So, and we've met Dollz Dolly more than once. We've investigated with her. We love Dollz Dolly. Boomer D, what's up, fam? Are you there, Boomer? Boomer. Did you fall asleep on me, Boomer? Don't tell me I have the type of.
Don't tell me I have the title.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
thought I'd take that hour-long opportunity to take a short nap here. Before I was acknowledged. So I was wondering if someone saw me up there, so I'll give him another 10 minutes.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I
oh
want
no, I'm sorry. I want
you know
you know,
give everybody a chance.
by a chance.
I'm getting feedback.
I'm getting
We know who has
What?
feedback.
I shouldn't have any feedback. All I got is the Zoom up.
Okay, but hey, I know you paranormal
Well, hey,
story.
I know they don't report
Feedback. Why am I getting feedback?
feedback. Why am I getting feedback?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay,
Okay.
I think. Oh no, it's not.
Oh no, it's not.
It's me.
It's me.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm gonna mess with it.
I'm gonna mess with it.
I'm not hearing it.
Are you hearing it, babe?
Are you hearing it?
I hear it.
I hear it.
You hear it?
You hear it?
You hear it?
You hear it?
Everybody in the chat, do y'all hear?
Everybody in the chat, do y'all?
Eddie's got an echo, says Diane. I don't hear it because I'm only listening through Zoom. I don't have the YouTube.
Where it's coming from?
It's coming through Zoom because that's what I'm listening through.
Oh, behave.
Unless
maybe I
it's because I have my phone laying on the table and it might be reverberating back.
Honda Trekking, so glad you came in, man. Long time no see. You know what? I gotta acknowledge you.
Do you hear it now?
Acknowledge me.
No, I don't.
Okay, it's probably because I had my phone laying on my bedstand and voice probably was reverbing back into my microphone or something.
It's okay, Boomer.
Right
We
here.
know you're a newbie.
I know, right? So give us a good paranormal story, Boomer.
Oh, trying to think of one you haven't already heard. I thought I'd have one by the time y'all got around to acknowledging me, but everyone I can think of, I've already told, and as y'all know, nothing recent has happened lately. Um, let's see. Let me think back to
The
well,
18th.
the first things I ever experienced. I think I've told this before too,
That's okay. Tell it
but
again.
my first actual experience with like seeing any kind of apparitions or anything.
Hold on one second.
Um,
Everyday treasures. I love you, bro. Definitely. As a matter of fact, everyday treasures. If you have a paranormal story, I want you to come up here too. And there's the link right there. Okay, I'm sorry, Boomer.
all right. So the first thing I can remember experiencing as far as like seeing an apparition or whatever. I was about I think I was 10 years old when my mom's dad passed away. And um and I believe that was the first um um funeral I was ever at. My mom wasn't gonna have us kids go, but my dad was like, well, they got to, sometime. I was like, now, what better time than now.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I was about 10 years old, and it was almost, if I remember right, it was about a week after the funeral, and I'm laying in bed. My brother and I have bunk beds, and I'm on the top bunk. Um, and I remember I was woken up by this overwhelming feeling in the middle of the night. And what was weird is, see, my grandfather was a very short man. Like, top of his head wouldn't even come up to the bottom of our bunk beds. I would gesture, but it was weird because when I turned to look toward the wall, I saw my grandfather there, and his shoulders came right up to where the top of the railing is. You know how those old wooden bunk beds, wood frame bunk beds have the like 2x4 railings or whatever, 1x4 railings on the side,
Uh-huh.
which stand at least 8 inches above the top of the mattress. And I didn't think about it at the time. It wasn't until later that I started thinking about it. I was like, but his shoulders came right up to the top of the railing for some reason. And I don't know if it's because he was floating there or whatever, because I didn't like look over the edge or down at the floor. I look, and all I could see was from his shoulders up.
Mm-hmm.
And he reaches over and grabs my hand, picks my hand up. And so my hand is up in the air, palm down, and he just uh about and the whole thing lasted about maybe 30 seconds. And all of a sudden he wasn't there again. And I look, and my hand is just like floating in air. I was like,
Right.
so I end up finally falling asleep because I thought I was dreaming. I'm 10 years old. I thought I was just dreaming about the whole thing. And it wasn't until next morning I tried telling my mom about it. Um, she didn't want me talking about it because dad was around, and dad wasn't into that. You know, he didn't play that shit. Like, he
Right.
didn't like he didn't like the mention of anything like paranormal or anything like that. So it just went on, and then so now jump ahead eight 8 years, I think. 7 or 8 years. I was like 17 or 18 when uh my other grandfather passed away. So a few days after his funeral, I end up pretty much moving in with my grandmother because they lived right next door to us anyway, because they owned both properties. So I moved into my mom or to my grandma's and little den area off from the living room area. Made it into a little bedroom for myself. And where the head of the bed was on against the outside wall overlooking the porch. And there's a window just to the side of my bed.
Right.
And again, something woke me up, not something physical, but that overwhelming feeling of, something tell me I should wake up.
Right.
And so I open my eyes, I roll over, and I happen to glance up, at the window. And as I'm glancing at the window, there's my grandfather, who was a very tall man, standing outside on the porch looking in the window.
Mm-hmm.
And I look up, we lock eyes, he smiles and disappears. So I'm
Wow.
like, yeah. So that pretty much cinched it for me from my first experience. I remembered back, when it first happened with my other grandfather, I was like, no, that couldn't have been a dream because there's no way I could have done it like twice, you know, 8 years apart. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
so I knew it was real. Yeah, I mean, that's the first um
Paranormal experience you
the
had?
only that was two of the only 4 times in my whole life that I actually saw like an actual apparition, um, or spirit, whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, no, I've seen like spirit in like hazy forms, orb forms, things like that. But
Right.
those two were only 2 of 3 which I saw as actual full body apparitions. So yeah, so
That's crazy, man.
that,
You know,
so,
uh,
and
everyday
the
treasure.
thing is, ever since my second grandfather, I never experienced that with any other relatives who have passed since. And there's a lot of them that have passed since that I've been a lot closer to than them, especially my dad's grandpa. My dad's dad wasn't really, a kid person, except for around the holidays or whatever. He tolerated us around the holidays because
Right.
they always took place at grandma and grandpa's anyway. But he was always the one that like never really wanted to be too bothered with the kids. That's the lady's jobs to do. That's the mom's job to handle the freaking kids.
Right.
He just wanted to sit in his chair, watch his shows, and do his paintings and stuff. So,
That's kind of
so
true.
surprised that he'd be one, to come back and say goodbye. You know.
Yeah, and
So
so you never had another experience with him other than that?
no, never had. My two grandfathers were the only two individuals that I saw, um that came back for a moment to say goodbye, I guess. Yeah, they're the only two out of I mean, and there's been dozens that have passed since that just, you know, I'm very surprised. I was almost expected to see my grandmother after she passed. But that never happened either.
Right.
So I was kind of like, why just them two? I was like, and I never got an answer for that. Never, still to this day, I don't understand why just those my two grandfathers. But maybe I'll get my answer someday. But
Now,
yeah, those.
everyday treasures had a question, and I want your opinion too. He asked, how many of you um, would want to see your loved one after they pass? He said he's curious because if not, would you be okay if they showed up? My answer is I would be fine. I would love to see my loved ones again. I would like to ask,
Right.
what is it like where they are? I'd like to know where they are because we can only assume that they're in heaven or hell, but we can only assume. But let them give us validation as to where they are. And half the time, they're not going to tell you that they're in heaven or hell. They're going to tell you something of the total opposite that you didn't want to know. Because some of them are still in limbo, and some of them are still stuck on the last thing that they were doing, so which is residual. And they're just going to keep replaying themselves.
Well, actually, with that, and I had to go through this with Christina the other night on my live stream. The residuals, that's not the actual physical spirit of an individual. Residual, that's just a strong imprint which they had left behind,
Right.
that is kind of stuck there. That's it's not that individual spirit, because the spirit can move on
Right.
to wherever it's going to go. Use that imprint in time that those who with a gift or whatever can pick up on. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing intelligent about them or anything like that. It's just an imprint. It's like walking down the beach
Mm-hmm.
and your footprints in the sand, or when you're recording something, you're not still there. That's just a recording of you doing whatever you did at the time.
Which
You know what
goes
I mean? So
well, that goes on to what I said earlier then, that I feel that because residual, what you said is true, that's just an imprint. So you're basically gonna still keep because you're a ball of energy. So you can come and go whenever you want. And that was just my
right, that energy, yeah, which can, if I mean, not all spirits can interact on the physical plane either,
right.
but that's something that
And not a
learn.
lot of
But yeah,
right, and not a lot of them choose to interact either. Some of them choose not to.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Jim said he's getting ready for a thunderstorm where he's at. Should make his night fun for the paranormal. You right, Jim?
Mm. We had a pretty big one. It didn't last long, but it was pretty hard for about 30, 45 minutes Friday night. A lot
Andrew
of thunder. Yeah.
Andrew said he was driving from Michigan today and stopped in Plymouth, Indiana, off Highway 31. Right now, he's done for the night. Okay, so yeah, you gotta get you some sleep, and make sure you get some good sleep. Tina C, so glad to see you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off because we also got Dollz Dolly up here. How you doing, Dolly? Are you there, Dolly?
Yeah, I'm here. Give me a second.
I was gonna say hello, Dolly.
Oh, Dolly.
Sorry, I was trying to end trade day and everything else. So
It's so nice to have you back where you belong.
I wanted to
Hey,
ask you, and I forgot because I had to wait so long before I could say anything.
Oh, boomer.
Who's got the easel and stuff in the background? Who's doing the painting?
That's actually a ladder, and that's Jen's
Oh,
bathroom.
okay.
So
Looks
Jen,
like an easel with canvas
it,
on it.
it does, don't it?
Oh,
It does look like an easel. Speaking of that,
okay.
you text me earlier
Sorry,
today.
Doc.
You remember? Um. Oh shoot! I gotta look at her phone. Look at my phone again. She had texted me right out of the blue. Uh, remember Amanda Urick?
Amanda.
Urick,
Amanda.
blind and chronic.
I've heard of.
She had a channel called Blind and Chronic Life. and she did those paintings right there.
Oh no. Oh, okay, cool.
We haven't heard from her. It's been 5 years, and she messaged me on Messenger right out of the blue.
I
Oh, wow.
remember her. That has been quite a long time.
Yes. Yeah, her channel was called Amanda Your Blind and Chronic Illness Life. That was the name of her channel.
Anyway, I'm sorry to cut you off, Dolly.
No, my apologies too, Dolly.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
So how you doing, Dolly?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We are great. And we're trying to make our way back up that way.
Oh, are you?
Yes, we got to get a transmission for the truck. So as soon as we get the transmission, we got everything else on the truck fixed. We're headed right back up there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we should go and do some ghost hunting.
Yes. And we've also got goose hunting.
Got ghosts.
Sound
Sorry.
like goose.
Paranormal.
Hang on.
No, it caught me too. That's like goose hunting. I don't even own a gun.
Yeah, my cold is so bad right now because of allergies.
No, that's all good.
I can lend you the BB gun.
Dolly,
I want to give you a heads up that we will be coming up that way. We're gonna come to see you.
Sweet.
not so much these days, Janet.
And we're right by a cemetery
All right.
now, so you'll love it.
Really? What cemetery you live by?
Okay, so it's called German Cemetery. I'm on my generational property. The one we've owned for generations.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Yep. It's called German Cemetery. It's right in our backyard.
Wow, that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And I know you got some good paranormal stories.
Oh, I do. Yes, I do.
Oh, we love
So-
it. Would you guys like to hear it, chat? I'll say it for yes.
Sure. Let me mute.
I'm sure they do.
Wake me up in an hour.
Well, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. But anyway, I do have a paranormal story that I will tell you guys about. And I remember it was on a sunny day, like in the summer, and we were going up a road in Canton, South area in Ohio. And I happened to look over and I noticed a guy dressed in old 1930s and 1940s uniform, military uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was going by, I thought it was kind of strange. And I looked at him more. He was carrying a bag. And then we turned around to look back and he was gone.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you know what?
We saw a military soldier going home to their family.
Damn. That's interesting. You haven't seen him since, have you?
No, I have not.
Wow. Let me tell you something that happened to me and Jen. I want to say it's been about a month at Walmart. We were at Walmart, okay, and we went to the section where they had the what's that sour cream, where they had the sour cream and the cheese and all that. And so there was another couple there that was looking for the same thing we were looking for. And as the gentleman was getting ready to walk up to it, well, actually he walked up to it, grabbed what he wanted. When he turned around, a thing of sour cream flew off the shelf and almost hit the lady in the back. And the lady was in a wheelchair. His
Oh,
wife.
wow.
We watched, and he seen it too. We literally watched it fly off the shelf. That's crazy.
That
Now,
is crazy.
I'll go to a week ahead. I'm gonna actually
I just had that happen myself.
last
It's
week.
something I wanted to get.
Yeah, last week we were at the same Walmart. This time we were over right near the section we were before, and we were gonna get some kind of cookies. And a pack of cookies just came right off the shelf. And the funny thing about it was the cookies I wanted.
Oh my goodness.
Because I'm looking
Tell
for, I'm like, where's these cookies? Where? And all of a sudden they fall right off the shelf. There they were.
They knew. They knew.
mine. You wanted them so bad, your psychic powers just brought them right to you.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was bad too. It's just crazy how it happened in the same store right near because where the cookies were is where the sour cream was on the other side.
Wait,
So-
who stores sour cream? Oh,
Because they got
isn't
the
sour cream?
well, Walmart has it where you have the sour cream and not butter, but the sour cream and what else is over there? That cream cheese and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was cream cheese with me.
Right. And
Gary,
And I wanted cream cheese and bagels. It reminded me.
Fallen Angel, how are you doing? But that happened with it was just crazy.
yeah,
And-
it's crazy for you because for the last couple months that's kind of been happening to me, like at least twice a month. I'd be sitting here like, and I'll be like wanting all these groceries from Walmart, right? And all I got, like I've been typing in like different things I want and really need and stuff like that, and lo and behold, 3 to 5 hours later, it's all bagged up on my porch, almost as if, like, you know, like twice a month, I have groceries just magically brought to my front door and left there in bags just by like thinking about it and typing it in like thing on my computer. There's this program on my computer, the site or whatever. All I do is I click on all these different items that I want, and all of a sudden, 3 to 5 hours later, it's at my front door. It's crazy how that happens, man. It's like my psychic powers are strong.
Little Patty said, I have a helpful trickster following me. You're probably right too, little Patty. You might be right. Daryl
do
Stanley,
too.
thank you for being here.
Yeah,
It's not
absolutely. I have more stories if you want them.
Yes, I do. You got
Not that- Several times I've had stuff fly off the shelves at Walmart, and it was something I wanted to get.
really that happened to you too?
And when, yeah, at Walmart, have you ever watched the videos of the Walmart people? That should tell you that the Walmarts are haunted.
Yeah, I'm
That's how. That's how great. That's how great. What's his name now?
Tyrone?
The guy
No,
started Walmart. He had passed away. I
Walton.
call him Mr. Wally.
Yeah, Mr. Walton.
That's how great the is, because you notice ever since he passed away, most Walmarts have gone to the dumps, right? So
Yeah.
here he is spending his afterlife helping out his customers still today
Yeah,
by knowing what they want and throwing it at them in the stores. I mean, this guy is. I keep forgetting what the guy's name is that owns Walmart. I know the name of the store has something to do with his name. I can never remember it though.
Sam
well,
Walton.
But
he even knows what kind of cream cheese I want. He knows it's going to be the garden veggie.
You talking about Sam Walton?
Walton, there you go. Thank you. Sam Walton. Yes. The owner of Walmart.
Yes.
Or the yeah. That's my little funny spin on it.
But Dollz Dolly, you go right on ahead.
All right. So you all know that Jen and Eddie had done a paranormal investigation on my house in Akron that I used to own. And
And
they
I've never
got some
forgot
things.
that. Yes, I
Yep.
never forgot that.
Yep.
Y'all
So
should
I have a story.
that video out because I was not wanted in that house.
I don't think it was just you. I think it was all of us because we kept hearing all kinds of stuff in that home. All kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, but he wasn't calling you the N-word.
Well, no, but he said something about die. You wanted me to die. Yep.
Jeff, how are you doing? Welcome.
You mean to tell me that whole time you never once heard the word cracker come out of his mouth?
Nope, but he called me a grandma,
No.
so to speak.
Yeah, he did. He called him a grand cracker. But anyway, my dad was sitting on the couch in the living room. This is before I remodeled the home. And he was watching TV. And little Alex at the time, he was little. Now he's not little anymore, but he's pretty tall now. But he was about 3 or 4 years old. And my dad thought he got up and went to the kitchen and got into the fridge. So my dad yelled at him to come back into the living room and sit with him and watch some TV and chill out. And when he looked over to his left, he saw him sitting next to him, not at the fridge, and he about freaked out.
What?
Yeah. Yes, this thing mimicked my son. It showed himself and mimicked my son.
That's crazy.
See, they're the ones you gotta be kind of careful with, but because not all men are total assholes. They're out there just kind of having fun with you, but there are some that can do damage. So you gotta be like real careful with those little
That
tricksters.
wasn't of course, and that wasn't the only experience we had with that.
Oh, share some
So
more.
on the second floor,
Same
the room that
entity.
worked in, and Ed and I sat and did a paranormal investigation, kind of did some ghost box with them. And that used to be my dad's bedroom. And he was sleeping there. And he got up in the middle of the night and he thought he heard one of the kids get up and he thought he saw one of the kids get up and go into the bathroom. And the light was out, but suddenly it came on. So he's like, whoever's up and playing around needs to get back to bed. The light didn't go off. Nobody came out of the bathroom. So he got up. He went into the bathroom and there was nobody in there.
Grandpa
And
was
then he
ready.
went back to the bedroom and the kids were still in bed asleep.
That's creepy. But damn, I've had
He
that.
didn't-
Yes.
when I was younger.
just a normal, average, everyday experience for him. He didn't he didn't freak out about it at all.
I didn't freak out about it because I'm not scared of the paranormal. I am not.
Oh yeah. Someone who's not I presume your dad's not really into it.
Well, so my dad was
So
raised
he-
Christian. He does not believe in spiritual like that.
Right.
So he was seeing these things and he thought he was losing his mind.
Yeah. So he just thought he was going crazy on both occasions.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And I was like, Dad, it's okay. And finally he's now starting to open up to it and believe that there is ghosts because he's now having more experiences.
You mean now your dad is having more experiences?
Yes. Yes. He called me up one day. He's like, Dolly, don't call me crazy. I know you understand what I'm talking about. And then I was like, well, what's going on, Dad? He's like, I was sleeping and I was taking a nap. I was like, okay. And he was explaining to me, I heard a noise coming from the kitchen area. And he lives in a small little senior apartment type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I looked over and I saw this woman walk into the bathroom, bent over, and was working on the toilet. And when he got up to see what she was doing, she disappeared. And he thought he was losing it.
Wow. Andrew said something about Cuyahoga, Ohio. Cuyahoga, Ohio, Helltown. What are
Yes,
you? Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio?
I'm close to that area, and we did a video on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back there too. Me and Jen, there was a video we seen where I guess there was a paranormal team that went out there in Cuyahoga Falls and they did this video. And I guess to make a long story short, one of the people, the chick, the female, she hasn't been seen since.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
And
I got to real quick. The next time happens to your dad again, next time, See if he could ask her if she does dishes as well and send her my way.
Told him that. I was like, I need a dishwasher to send her my way.
Eddie,
Boomer, you got
What?
two in your hands.
Eddie, was it your channel where you were doing a ghost box and my dad came through and said,
Yeah.
"What? I'm working,"
Yes.
because he was a pastor.
Your father was a
And
pastor?
yeah, so apparently he's still working in the afterlife.
Yeah, see, he's still, that's what I meant earlier when I said some feel that they have unfinished business.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yep.
You know, Mrs. Green Thumb, how are you doing, ma'am? So glad you came in. Hey, Miss Green Thumb, put your channel link in. If you guys want to learn some good tips, you know, especially if you have that green thumb, I kind of have like a green pinky almost. But Mrs. Green Thumb, she will really help you out. Go by, check out her channel. And Randy, how are you doing, sir? I did not see you slide in like that. Daryl Stanley is the man.
I have a question for everybody.
And we might have the answer. Film at 11.
Has anyone here ever believed they have run into an angel in human form?
Yes.
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 No,
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Saved my life. Yep.
Yeah, I have a story to go with that question.
Tell us the story.
I was
I
at my
had even
mother's.
question whether or not one intervening, but as far as like one, no.
Oh yeah, I. And Boomer was stuck there.
Go ahead, tell us the story.
I was at my mother's, and she had a furnace that it ran on oil, gas, and wood. And to save money, she would stuff it with wood, and I mean stuff it. She would overstuff it.
Right.
And we kept telling her, don't do that. You're gonna blow up the house like that.
It's not
And
her fault. All those years of people telling her to go stuff it. I mean, what was she supposed to do?
no, I told her to stick it, but that's a different story. Anyhow, that night she had done it again. The house started shaking and this really loud banging. And something just told me it was that furnace, and she had overfilled it again. So I went to the top of the cellar stairs, and when you go down like 4 or 5 steps, you can look around the corner and see the furnace. And sure enough, it was spitting out hot embers at the newspaper pile. And yeah,
There you are. Doc.
I ran back.
You just
It wasn't me, Ben. Dang it. So I
Oh, hello. And the mail show. How you doing, Melissa? But go right ahead. I'm sorry, Adventure with Beth. I'll shut up. But, but when you're not around,
so
I'm
I ran back up the cellar stairs, and I started yelling, "Fire! Everyone get out!" Because there's nothing you can do about it. It's not like you can go down there and start pulling stuff out. Um,
and you're right.
so I grabbed my kids and I was wrapping them in blankets because their jackets weren't nearby. I was just grabbing anything because it was cold. And my mother was in the bathroom. Oh, Lord. I'm screaming at her to get out of there. I'm busy. Okay, you're on your own, Mom. So I ran outside with my 3 kids, and while waiting for my mother to come out of the bathroom, this woman walked up to me and she said, "If you need somewhere to stay for the night, here is my address." And she gave me her address. Well, the following day, I decided to go thank her for the offer because I didn't even think to thank her that night. So I went to that address and there was no house there. It was an empty lot.
Wow.
So it was an empty.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was an empty lot.
We had that experience, but it really wasn't us. It was our son Manny. To make a long story short, we was visiting my sister in Youngstown, and there was a house that used to sit right directly next door. The house had burnt down, and so our son Manny would talk about this girl named Donna. Now, as you know, our son Manny is severely autistic and he's nonverbal.
Right.
So he would always say Donna. So me and Jim was like, who is Donna? And so we asked my sister Reese, we was like, Reese, who is Donna that Manny keep talking about? Who's this Donna? And Reese was like, oh, Donna is the girl that used to live next door. I was like, next door, which house? Oh, no, the house is empty. Or a house that has the empty lot. I was like, well, what happened to the lot? Or what happened to the house? And she said, oh, she died. The house got caught on fire and she was in the fire. Oh, it's the children? Oh, Donna was the little girl, and but yeah, the house was on fire and she was in the fire. And but she was coming to Manny.
Wow.
Okay, Steph.
So I'm sorry to hear that. When I hear stories like that,
Yeah.
wow, that's kind of deep.
Steph, I didn't need anywhere to stay. And she actually calmed me down because I was a nervous wreck. But knowing I'd have somewhere to go if I needed to, and she did calm me down.
That's
That reminds me.
maybe she was meant. Do you think, Boomer? Do you think maybe she was meant to see her?
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't, she wouldn't.
Right. So yeah, you was
This
meant to see her.
Yeah, and
uh,
never saw her again. Never ever.
from what
Never
I
saw
they're
her
like,
before that. Never saw her again.
I'd never seen one personally, or never even met anyone who came off as like maybe but her story did remind me of an event few years ago. This was before my social media beginnings or whatever. Um it was not long after I moved in here, and I kind of met up with an old girlfriend from high school and went and hung out with her for a while. It's the one that this is like a sequel to the event that happened when I was at her place one time, where I told you guys the story about her parents living next door, and there was a huge weeping willow tree, and her sister's boyfriend accidentally ended up hanging himself in it.
Mm-hmm.
So pre that, it was about a week. I think it was a week or two after my visit, and we're talking on the phone and stuff, and she calls me about an incident her brother-in-law had. Um, where he was out, he just got done like either unclogging or fixing the lawnmower or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so he turns it back over, and apparently he didn't have the spark plug wire fully connected to the spark plug or something. well, when it was tipped over, he didn't realize there was a little puddle of gasoline on the housing around the engine. So he goes to start it up, and the spark jumps between the wire and the spark plug and ignites the gas, and the lawnmower practically just like blows up right in his face. Well, he said at that precise moment that he yanked the ripcord to start the engine, he felt this like thunderous force hit him in the chest to knock him back. Something literally knocked him off his feet and pushed him back just as the engine exploded. He got a little bit of the flash in his face and had temporary blindness for a while and minor burns on his face and stuff, but he survived it. Had he not been pushed back. So she's telling me this story, and as she's telling me what happened, and I forget his name, I'm sure he's not going to come back to remind me, but I said, it was so-and-so. She goes, what do you mean? I go, so-and-so. She goes, what name did you say? And I told her the name again, and I forget again. She goes, that's the guy you saw hanging in a tree. My sister's boyfriend at the time. So I was like, yeah. So he was the one that shoved her husband away from the explosion just as it happened. Which, I mean, it's a crazy bit to begin with, but for it to be who, like, for the person that saved him to be the person that, you know, she dated back then, you know, and they probably would have ended up being married if what happened had happened, you know. But so you know, apparently he's been watching out over her and her family and everything, you know. So I'm on the phone with her, and he's coming to me explaining to me what happened, and I'm relaying it to her, and she's like, oh my god, it fits, you know. I was like, oh well, that's what happened. So in that event, like, that's an experience I know of where somebody played the role of a guardian angel to protect somebody, you know, who I knew, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, an example of an intervention from one, but, you know, personally, I never met one. Don't think I met anybody that came off as, you know, even being one, but I've been accused of being one before.
Don't say that too loud.
You know, a few times, you know, like I was standing in line at a dollar store one time, you know, and I was behind this elderly guy who had like all this stuff, but his card wasn't working and he didn't have enough cash to pay for it, whatever. And so the cashier asked him to move over because there was a line forming behind us, and, you know, pick out what you can't get, and we'll. And I was like, so you know, he had cat food, you know, things for his fur baby. You know, he had cat litter, cat food, things like that. Maybe one or two things for himself, but most of it was for his cat. You know, I don't even like cats. Okay, it's like, give a fuck about somebody's cat, but he was telling how he took this cat in and made it his own, and he needed to feed it and stuff. So I was like, well, what did his stuff come up to? And she goes, blah, 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 blah. And like, all right, so I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. Get him taken care of, and I'll pay for mine and his all at the same time, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not even aware that, you know, because when I first stepped up there was one lady behind me. And by the time we got done with all this, there was a whole line of like 15 people behind me, right? And I'm not aware of this. And I get done with my transaction. This guy, you know, he's bless you. My cat's gonna, you know, eat today, blah, 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 you know, just giving me phrase or whatever. So, and I turn around, I'm like hit with like 30 eyeballs, you know, it's like, and they're all like standing there like God came down and laid his hand on them or something, you know, and I'm like, And everybody in that line says, "Oh my God, you're an angel in disguise," or to some reference of that.
Right.
I'm like, you how far off y'all are. I'm like, hey, I'm just a guy doing the right thing, okay? Just settle down. But I think that I think it's out there. Maybe I was inspired by something what's the word, divine? I don't know. I'm not usually, because you know me, I'm like not religious or anything like that. But maybe for that brief moment where I saw a fellow person in need, and this guy's like in his 70s, like looking all,
Yeah.
old. I just kind of felt, I was like, these cats got to eat, man. So I was like, I don't know what came over me. I mean, yeah, I've helped out friends and stuff like that, but not generally just some stranger in the store. I can't remember. That's the only time I can ever remember saying, "Oh, I'll pay for stuff for him." What I'm saying? I don't do that. That's not me.
Right.
It's like get mine and I move on. I don't want to. Yeah, I hate the oh, what's that word? I don't like being acknowledged like that. I don't like being you know, um I know there's a word, I just can't think of it. But that's not me. I maybe something maybe it was some kind of divine intervention and they used me as a you know vessel to do it for them, because it's not like they could just like swoop down, pick up $20 and give it to the guy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel they used me as their divine intervention to help this guy out, but I don't think that's the same thing, is it? I don't think it's the same thing as experiencing an angel, right?
Well, you know what, Boomer?
Make a long story short,
You have been acknowledged.
Acknowledge
Right,
me.
Boomer, you've been acknowledged.
wake up,
So Ed,
everybody.
Greg is next to me.
You know what? And I should have put two and two together. Duh, and he's right there next to you. Greg, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Would you like to share a paranormal story?
Uh, Um, well, that
Oh,
was when I was younger.
yeah.
Was we visited the McKinley Monument, and, and we were inside
Mm-hmm.
looking at everything, and you could hear whispers
Really?
from inside there, and there was nobody else there. It was just my family and I
And you
at that time.
and so you was the only one that heard whispers?
No, my brother could hear them too.
Paul.
No, that's
No, that's my brother.
that's her brother.
Oh, that was your brother. I'm sorry. I miss Paul, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as you were saying, not trying to make this somber. I just wanted you to know I acknowledge Paul when we know you're looking down on us.
He is, absolutely.
But yeah, we heard the whispers and stuff, but my brother and I were the only two that heard them because the others they didn't really
Was he
hear
was it talking to you like this? Hey Greg,
them. No.
how you
you
doing?
you could just it was like other people having conversations, but there was nobody else around.
No, I was just playing. Because I know exactly what you mean. When you hear whispers, there's times where Jim would hear whispers, but I don't, and she hears them, and she would tell me.
Yes.
So I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe that. And I have fun with Jen sometimes, and I'll say, "What are you doing, baby? What are you doing?" Saying sweet nothings in your ear like this. Hey Jen, what's up with you? About 411. I'll just play it. Randy, do you have a paranormal story? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put a link in one more time. If anybody here has a paranormal story, I haven't even got to Regina yet because she's right there. Please come on in. And now we're gonna slide over to Regina. How you doing, Regina?
All right, how are you, Eddie?
I'm doing anybody I can. The good ones twice.
I only got one question real quick because I don't want to cut her off in the middle of her thing, but I do have a question for you, Eddie, real quick.
Yes, sir.
How the hell do you do this? How are you doing it? I have, for the last 5 to 6 live streams I've done, tried this very same thing. Get a panel of people to tell their paranormal stuff, and nobody got nothing to say. But now you got 5 people up in here just spilling guts. How do you do it?
I beg. I say, please, oh, please come to my channel. Little Johnny needs shoes. He's only walking around with one shoe. If you come to my channel,
I had forewarning.
You
I
know
saw
what?
him on another channel and he said he was going to be doing this and invited me. So
That's right. You
Oh,
know what I do?
what
I,
for all my invites?
I call it a blessing. Your invite was when I gave you one. See, you here, so you're invited.
Oh no, I was saying to Beth, how come she shares all my invites?
I don't see him until it's way too late.
That's right. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Regina.
Yeah, Regina, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
How you doing?
The very first paranormal experience I had was when I was 5 or 6 years old. I was with my mom, my sister, and one of our neighbors, and we went down on Denton Road in Canton, Michigan, to this old bridge, and we seen a lady all blue, and that was my very first time I ever seen anything like that.
So you want to talk about it?
It the it happened when the lady's husband found out she was cheating on him, and she left with their baby, and he hurt her really bad, and she died right there on the spot. And
Really?
believe me, at 5 or 6 years old, I was terrified seeing that. And that's when it all started for me, seeing and hearing spirits and seeing spirits.
Well, sometimes I tell people this, when you see spirits, there's times that they want you to see them. You know, some spirits pick and choose who they want to see them and who they don't want to see, even if it's your own family members, you know, and that's just my humble opinion. You know, I personally, I love talking to spirits, especially spirits from long ago, because you learn a lot from them. Because I treat them with the utmost respect, as if they were still a person here in life, because they were at one time or place. And so I treat them with that same respect. So if you passed away and you were mean and nasty in life, you're going to be the exact same way in death. Nothing changes.
I
And
totally agree with you, Eddie, because there's a spirit that Glenn sees walking by the living room windows all the time, and I have never seen her. He keeps
Really?
telling me there's that little girl again in her confirmation dress. And I look and I see nobody.
Wow.
And
See,
then couple of minutes later, we heard the baby crying.
really?
Yeah, the husband slash father also done that to the baby too.
Miss you.
And they
So glad to see you and joyful Steph. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry.
that's all right. And they finally caught the man and put him in a prison for the rest of his life.
Wow.
And then the second time, I seen the Indian lady that was in 95, 96. And then in 2000, when February 24th of 2000, my mom was in the hospital and I had to get a CT scan of my knee. And I was a little nervous. And my grandma, my mom's mom, she passed away right at the same time I was starting to get the CT scan. And she visited me and my mom at the same time. And she was at home when she passed away.
You have my deepest condolences.
I've heard of that happening before, where several different people in the family will see the spirit of a recently passed loved one all at the same time.
Right. Yeah, same
So I'm
here.
still wondering. Yeah, it's like it sounds like a Voldemort thing where he splits his spirit into 7 pieces and hides them in different places. It definitely helps.
Marilyn Lagerberg, so glad to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
I
Well,
do want to know how to do that, because when I go, I want to split myself up as many pieces as I can all at once and just say goodbye to everybody all at once, so I don't have to keep traveling back and forth everywhere.
all they got to do is just keep your ashes at least a little bit. A little bit goes a long ways. Kind of like a Hershey's kiss.
No, I mean like people talk about the moment someone dies, they see their spirit. And then there's times where multiple people at the same time have seen them at the moment, So I was like, well, if they can do that, I want to know how they do it. Because at the moment of my death, I just want to go to everybody at the same time, say goodbye, see you, adios. Don't forget to drive in the Atlantic.
You were silly, man.
Because y'all on a live stream together, that would be cool. If y'all was on a live stream together and all of a sudden I pop in and say hi to all you at the same time while you're on a live stream, there you go. Keep the cameras rolling.
Bad
I'll
Daddy,
figure
welcome to the chat. Hey, Bad Daddy says, say goodbye before you go. Dollz Dolly, you got another story for us? Or Regina?
How do we know that's not happening right now with you, Boomer?
Yes, they have more stories.
Oh, you still have more?
Okay.
Don't just sing them, bring them.
I think Beth was asking Boomer a question. I'll let him do that first.
Oh, I'm sorry, Beth. Was you asking Boomer a question?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
she's saying how do you not doing that at this moment? Like she's assuming I'm dead and this is my spirit talking to y'all.
No, I'm just asking a question. Hey, stranger things have happened.
Ain't that the truth? Stranger things have happened.
Yep.
So what was that question?
Oh, I asked him how we'd know if he wasn't doing that right now.
That is a good question.
Yeah, very good question. Sorry, I don't have my chains with me right now, so I can't rattle them for you.
Film at 11. And now I'm getting ready to bring up a good friend of ours that we've actually met at the YouTube fan meet, and that is my good friend Rob, aka Michigander Man. How are you,
Oh,
Rob?
Eddie, you could be the first ever on a live stream to interview an actual dead person on your channel.
Really?
Rob has been acknowledged.
Oh yeah, you know what? I need to acknowledge you, Rob.
Acknowledge me.
You need to apologize.
Hi, Rob.
I think he's adjusting his audio. I
Yeah,
see.
he's connected to audio.
He's just waiting for Boomer to shut the hell up.
And Beth.
hey, Boomer. How do you tell us you talk too much without telling us you talk too much?
How do I tell you I talk too much without telling you too much? Is that the question?
Yeah, yeah. How do you tell us you talk too much without telling us you talk too much?
Watch any recent live stream of Eddie's that I've been on his panel.
Believe me, I love Boomer.
All right.
I'm used to Boomer. I love Boomer. Michigan the Red. Rob,
Hey, what's up?
how you doing?
Bro!
Can you guys
Hi,
hear me?
Rob.
Yes, we hear you and see you.
I've never done
Well,
Zoom
you're
before.
5.
You never done Zoom before?
No.
Well, hey,
We see your 4.
we gotta give Rob a round of applause. This is his first Zoom that he's ever done.
Yeah, congrats.
I'm sorry. Welcome to the dark side. So, Rob, I
I
know
thought I had
paranormal stories.
4.
What's that?
I know you got some paranormal stories.
I do got a few.
Yes, give us one.
I can give you the first ever paranormal experience I've ever had.
That'll work.
Well, when I was a kid, we lived in a house that was built in 1880, and it had like a secret stairway and stuff to. It was an attic or whatever, but that was covered up. But when I was a kid, we played in this attic, and I had a Evil Knievel motorcycle guy. You could play. I played with him up there. So
I
we
remember those. I used to have one of
Yeah.
those. Wind it up.
Yep, that's what we had. So I'm up in the attic. It was, my dad was home. I don't remember if my mom was, but I was probably 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And we were up in the, or I was up in the attic. I think I was by myself. And I was up in the attic playing, and I heard something unusual that I've never heard in my entire life ever. I was only 7.
Mm-hmm.
I heard something speaking to me. I knew I was the only one in the attic, and I heard something, and I'm like, I got out of there as fast as I left my toy in the attic. So I ran downstairs, told my dad, and my dad came up in the attic and looked, and he didn't see anything, but my toy was missing. I never saw it again.
Wow, really?
That's not the first experience we had at that house either.
Hi, Cassie.
I've had that happen with a few of my Matchbox cars, Hot Wheels, back in the day. I'd be sitting there playing with them in my room or whatever, and I'd have to go do something, and I'd come back and they're missing. It's like, wow.
You know what? Let me ask you all something. Everybody here, I'm quite sure, has had an attic.
Yep.
When you were younger, were you
Yep.
afraid to go in the attic?
Nope.
I was.
I was after the experiences I had in my attic.
I never went, and we had an attic when I was younger. I want to say like maybe 10, 11 years old, and I would never go up in it.
Attics were never an issue for me. As a matter of fact, I deliberately hang around in the attic spaces just to see if something would like pop out at me or whatever. But basements on the other
thing, Boomer.
I agree with Bad Daddy.
Under.
Basements are worse. Yes, they are.
Yeah, basements I have a problem with, not attics.
I had, yeah.
I,
Until I was
I
about,
never-
11, 12 years old, I never went in our basement.
Thank you, Big
I-
Ben. Put Michigander Man's link in there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I
What's
never,
so dead? I'm just kidding.
Well, tell us another one, Rob. I don't want you to leave yet and tell us another one. Give us a good juice.
Okay, I got another one. Every weekend, my dad and family would have like a card party, and they would drink and stuff. They invite everybody over.
Mm-hmm.
So my cousin and had a Ouija board. So they thought it'd be a good idea to bring the Ouija board over and play with the Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a mistake.
Yes, that is. Anything that deals with the Ouija board is a mistake.
So
Why?
My dad, I don't know if my dad knew what he was doing or just something he seen on TV or something, but he had everybody join hands, and I forgot what else. I remember us joining hands with the Ouija board and stuff and then my dad asked a few questions, and then he said something like, if any spirit is here with us right now, give me a sign. We got a sign. My dad was in a chair. I remember this because after he said that, his chair fell backwards and he fell into a small hole in the floor, and he don't know where that hole in the floor came. The spirit knocked him out of his chair.
What?
Yeah, we don't know where the hole in the floor. My dad's like, that was not there before. The hole in the, because there was a hole. The one of the leg post went to a hole in the floor.
Now, by the way, Rob, we are trying to make our way to come up north. I want to make my way to come to Michigan because I want to stop at the Motown, the original Motown studio, but I also want to stop and see you.
Sweet.
So I'm gonna let you know when we're up there in Ohio. I'll let you know when we're there. We're trying. Our transmission went out in our truck, so we're trying to get another transmission. We got everything else on the truck done, just the transmission.
I could bring you to some spooky places, and I could take you to the abandoned World War II POW camp.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Pow.
Why does nobody ever make it to North Carolina unless it's a meetup thing? And I'm sitting here an hour away and I can't get there.
North Carolina. What? Never heard of it before.
Well, I want to see because there's a few of you here that I want to see. Everyday Treasures is one. I want to see Boomer. Definitely want to see Boomer. I want to make my way to Pennsylvania also, so I can also go by and say hello to Cab 7. And there's so many that I want to visit while I'm up there because we might not go back up there for another 4 years after we leave there. So I want to try to see as many people as we can while we're up there, you know. And I want to let Rob know that ahead of time because I told him eventually I'm going to come up to Michigan.
Right.
And I still stand on that. I'm coming to Michigan. And I'm coming to see you, Boomer. And I'm coming to see you, Everyday Treasures, over there in Indiana. So, yes, I'm going to come to see you guys. As a matter of fact, before y'all leave today, I want y'all to put y'all's links in the chat. So I want everybody to come by and check out everybody because well, that's easy for you to say.
I would love to meet up with you, Eddie and Jen.
We would love to meet up with you too. And little Patty's
I
in Central.
I live in Michigan too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet. Where you live at, Regina? Where?
Novi.
Oh, I'm gonna be in near that area. I think in a couple months.
Wow.
We're supposed to be doing an investigation at a haunted mansion.
Okay.
Everyday Treasure. I just see this. It's check out Rob's foot fetish.
My foot. That's his fetish. That ain't my fetish. That's ET's foot fetish.
He took it down.
That was
quick.
like, you seeing that?
Hey, that's okay if that's what you got. Hey, it's all good.
You know how much
E.T.
shorter I feel with Rob up here?
Oh, Big Ben is in Australia. I would love to. I would love to go to Australia. There and New Zealand. Those two places. I would love to go. Everyday Treasures. So yeah, Rob, tell us one more. Marilyn, have a great night.
While
So much for being here.
while he's thinking about the other one, he also reminded me of, speaking about attics and stuff, real quick. One place my sister used to live in, it was a duplex, side by side duplex, and they had there was a leak around the base of the chimney as it come to the house, where it goes through the ceiling into the next floor, into the second floor. There was a little leak around there, right? So I'm up in the attic, and the attic is barely a crawl space, right?
Right.
So I'm up in there and I'm watching it around the base of the chimney that meets the floor / ceiling of the next floor. So I'm in there and I'm putting patch stuff around the bottom, and all of a sudden I hear this, or I feel this slap on my shoulder. Well, I've got my back turned to the small, so because to get into the attic space, it's just you slide a piece of wood out of the small entrance, and you have to stand on the railing and like pull yourself up into it. So, and I'm there and I've got my back to the entrance, and I'm only like 1.5 feet, 2 feet away, and I feel this hard smack on my shoulder. So I whir around, thinking it's going to be my nephew messing with me, right? So I whir around, I yell at him, I was like, "What the hell you want?" And just as I started saying that, I noticed there was nobody there. And I looked down, I peeked my head down through, nobody's upstairs. And I holler out for my nephew. He's downstairs. He's like, "What? What do you want?" I'm like, "Were you just up here?" He's like, "No, I've been down here all." And I crawl out of the, crawl out of the crawl space, and I look through. There's only 3 rooms upstairs, and I look through all the rooms, the bathroom and 2 bedrooms, looking all over. It's like nobody's upstairs. And I go downstairs. Everybody's downstairs sitting in the living room watching TV. And I tell them what happened. It's like, oh yeah, by the way. I'm like, what? It's like, is that why you go up there and do this shit instead of the landlord or the guy he has do the work? He's like, oh, we didn't even mention it to the landlord, but we figured you're the best one to do it because you're used to this shit. I'm like, dude, warn a guy. So this whole time they knew there was something in the attic fucking around. And it messed around with me that night. It scared the shit out. Well, it didn't scare me, but it startled me for a minute. Anyway.
Right. Misty Mountain, so glad to see you here. Rob had lost his audio.
Hi, Susan. Susan was on my panel the other night too for a
Well, see,
minute.
I was going to ask Susan if she wanted to come up and tell a paranormal story. And Steph, would you like to come up and tell a paranormal story?
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna
Susan and I have seen stuff happen in each other's houses.
She has a good one though, because she was up there long enough before Zoom kicked her off. She was up there long enough to tell us her most recent one. And it's pretty good. So maybe she can get her Zoom working again to tell y'all.
If you go to my channel and look for the video, it says impromptu investigation. One of the voices that you hear on that is Susan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. And let me tell you something. Susan has got some good stuff. Y'all need to, if a lot of you have not been to her channel, go by and check out Misty Mountain 1967. As a matter of fact, Susan, I want you to put your link in the chat so that they can come by and check you out. She's got some good stuff.
Well, I'm not gonna step off where you can have another one come up.
How you doing, Susan?
You know,
hey, Regina.
100 people on here.
What, Boomer?
Zoom allows you to have 100 people up on the panel. You realize that, right?
No, I didn't know.
You don't have to make room. This isn't StreamYards or Restream. You're not limited to 6. This is Zoom.
I didn't know.
Right, and I have the paid version, so I can have up to 100 people up here.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So here is Misty Mountain 1967, aka Susan.
Thank you, Ben. Ben just posted my link in chat.
I am so good to see you. And Cassie is in here too, by the way. I seen her in here. I think she's still here. I'd love to hear some stories that she would like to tell. But
yeah. I'm sure most of you guys realize I haven't been doing paranormal for about what, 6 months now, Boomer?
Yeah, I've noticed it too.
That's what you.
Well, that doesn't mean the spirits haven't been doing stuff here. Even if I haven't. Most of it's been happening in the kitchen lately. My husband was getting ready to go to work. I was still sleeping. He put coffee on and set his coffee cup on the countertop, and it moved 4.5 inches.
Wow, really?
On him, with him standing there, watching it. And then there was another time that Boomer was talking about, I think, where I had put dinner in the oven and set the timer. And again, my husband was sound asleep at his computer. And the timer went off. It beeped twice. And in the process of me walking from the office to our kitchen, somebody turned it off. Not only did they turn the timer off, but they turned the oven off.
Wow. Before you go any further, Steph, thank you so much for being here. We love having you as part of our family. Hopefully you hit that sub button and become part of it. It's free. But thank you so much for coming in. Hopefully we see you next week.
Well,
Thank you,
guys,
Dollz.
Daddy.
Dollz.
Just so everybody knows, we're opening a new channel and potentially closing out the ones we have.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. But
We'll be doing everything on the same one.
before you go any further, I got to do this because Dollz Dolly just made a nice
Yeah,
little.
I see that.
Here we go. Money talk.
Thank you, dear Dollz Dolly. That was for you. Thank you so much. A $5 donation. And as y'all don't know, that $5, the donations that we get are going to be going to our boys. So our goal is to get them to go to Disneyland at least once in their life. So the money that we keep from that, we try to cap it, take it out of there so that we can save it for them. So thank you.
Disneyland, what? You don't like Florida? You got a problem with Orlando?
No, it's Disney World. You're right. I forgot Disney World, not Disneyland. We don't want to go to Cali. We see things shaking here. Nothing against
Disney World.
Isn't that the one in California? Or Disneyland is in California, right?
Right.
Okay, we're going to Disney World. That's the one they want to go to.
Florida? Yeah. Disney World is no.
And
Yeah.
those you're
it's like prejudice.
Okay, Disneyland is where we're going. In Florida. That's where we want to go.
Oh,
Well, California.
And Misty she turned it she's like, you know what? Y'all don't want to see me fine. These are see
I'm smoking a cigarette, guys, and it's kind of rude.
That's okay. I'm vaping.
Eddie,
I was born in a
East
rude
Coast.
My family's rude.
Fine.
Eddie's prejudice against East Coasters. That's what it is.
What? I'm not prejudiced. I got a colored TV.
Yeah, long time no talk, Beth.
I know.
I've heard
long
that's
time.
all.
Wait a minute. Everyday Treasure said, Jim from Eddie and Jen, could you imagine a black dude, a giant white dude, white dude, Rob, and some long-haired white guy who looks homeless, and we get caught in an abandoned building? You know what I would do? I would be like this.
Yeah.
They think I was a crackhead. They just go, well, we know about him. What about you two?
You might be able to pull that off if you don't smile, Eddie.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't smile.
I have another one for you, Eddie.
Smile as you do.
You know how I'm always playing with my camera, like my actual digital camera?
Uh-huh.
We had a thunderstorm going on a week ago. And you know how you get the feeling sometimes like you're not alone in the car?
Yes.
I snapped a picture of my car in the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
There was 3 spirits sitting in my car, and I have the picture to prove it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. If you want, I can show it to you guys.
Yes, show us. I would
So
love
you're doing Uber now?
Would you like to see this picture? It's not porn.
I get chickens, they get spirits. What the fuck? I get pictures of the chickens offered.
I'm gonna see it.
They get the
Susan is doing the spirit Uber now.
What was that, Boomer?
You were talking about your chickens on my live stream the other day, and you offered to send me pictures of your chickens.
I didn't want you to show them on screen. Yes, I have chickens.
Pictures of
You're gonna have to enable it, Eddie.
Okay, wait a minute. How do I do that?
I couldn't tell you. I don't use
Oh, wait a minute.
Zoom.
Well, you know what? Can you send it to me?
I believe so. You're on.
Just say it.
You'll have to download it to zoom in on it, though.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'll do that then.
Okay, just a second.
Big Ben. Yes, I did see that documentary. It was very interesting. There's a couple documentaries I've watched, as a matter of fact. So yes, it was very interesting.
I don't do UFOs.
That's okay. I don't do dishes. We have a dishwasher.
And I don't even do house
You-
chores, so we're good.
Susan, I'll never forget the night that me and Mary were on a call with you and that stand moved in your kitchen.
Yeah, the wooden stand. Yeah.
You
My
know-
favorite though is the night that Boomer freaked out.
You know,
Oh,
because
yeah.
we're coming to
The
visit.
dog.
We're coming to see Susan also. And because she invited us, her and her husband invited us to come down. So I believe we're gonna take them on that invitation.
How long is it going to be? Because we actually may be moving.
Oh, I'll let you know because we still have to get a transmission in our truck. So
I sent it, and my car is the black one, Eddie.
okay. So let me go. You send it on my Facebook or is it my Twitter?
It's in the Facebook.
Okay.
Same one you sent me the link on.
Give me a second here.
I thought you didn't have Facebook anymore.
I didn't realize he still had it either.
Okay, let me slide this over here.
Yeah, Ben, we're still all trying to figure out what the heck that was that I caught on my video camera.
Okay, so now let me go here.
Yeah, I think we've all in the paranormal world had stuff that we go, oh my God, about. Yeah, if you zoom in, you can see them.
Let me see if oh, what the hell did I just do? I'm so.
Yeah,
Right.
there's one. I've got a stuffed toy. You can in the hanging off the rear view. If you look right underneath its feet, you can see a head there. And then next to it in the passenger seat, there's a head. And then there's one in the back as well.
I'm trying to fix how do I that doggone it? I used to know how to zoom in. I might have to save this and then let me do this. Let me save this. Okay, so now let me get off of here. And then let me go to
Your downloads.
go to my download.
You're more tech savvy than I am.
Okay, so here it is. Ah, damn it. Move that. Move this.
Copy and paste.
Okay.
Yeah, if you zoom in, you can see just by where the rabbit is there. There's a face looking right by the
Right
leg.
here. I see the face right here.
And there's another one in the passenger. You may have to zoom out, but if you look right in the back window, there's a huge one. Right straight.
Yeah, I see it.
Yes, I do see it. And I see that one too right here.
Yeah, and if you zoom out, Eddie, there's another one in the back of the car.
Right here.
Right there. Oh, and there's another one looking in the window right next to it.
This one right here.
There's another one over beside it to the right of the back one.
Yep.
There's another one looking in the window. Go up, Eddie, up, and then to your left.
Right here?
Right there.
Yep.
Right here.
Your hand's almost on top of it. It's right beside the hand.
Wow. Then there's one over here. Right here.
I don't know if they were actually looking in the car or looking at me because I was standing.
And right here.
Yeah, I was about 4 feet away from in the garage door.
Wow.
And again, guys, I haven't been doing paranormal.
That is crazy.
You don't have to. If they're there, they're there.
That is crazy.
And then if you look above the bunny, it's almost like there's a portal there with a face looking out. Just above the bunny, there's like almost looks like a square.
Uh-huh.
And there's another face in the middle of it.
Wow. And see, your property, especially when you have pictures from the outside, you have got collections of orbs, everything. I'm shocked that no one's never picked up your channel yet and picked you up. You know,
What do you mean picked me up?
as far as like, and I'm kind of glad though. Like us also, like I'm talking people like what's it called, Nuke's Top 5 and all that.
I sent that video that Ben was talking about, that best catches one with the woman walking across.
Right, Michelle, have a great night. Thank you so much for coming.
And Nukes messaged me back to say that all the rest of the video was perfect, but that section that I slowed it down, where it shows the orb going across and then the woman coming back through and that noise, that was gone. It didn't show.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like just static. There was nothing there.
Oh.
So I guess it's just something that was intended for me and my channel and not.
Yeah, it was basically intended for you only.
Yeah. It's the same with this picture I showed you guys. I tried sending it to a friend who was going to check it out on his some kind of program he has. That he could separate each of the little things.
Right.
And he got just a blank. It was like a black screen.
See, I don't feel half as bad because I am a black screen.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like I was actually.
I'm just playing.
You got a groan out of me.
Anybody else have a paranormal story they would like to share with us? We'd love to hear them. Susan, did you just jump off? You didn't even say bye. You just jumped off.
She's like, I'm gone. See you later.
I love you, Susan. You know I was just playing. I don't think she did it on purpose. I think it was an accident.
Yeah, I do too.
The issue with kicking her off for some reason. It happened to me. It happened when she was on mine the other night.
Yeah, sometimes the spirits just don't want her talking or showing stuff.
That's it.
They may be upset that she did it, and they jumped her off. Wow. Well, Dollz Dolly, you want to tell us another one?
Absolutely, I can share another one with you. And I will. I'm going to tell you the one about when I first purchased the house on Rocker Way.
Okay, is that
so I was about.
Is that the one that we was at, or?
Yes.
Okay.
This was the very first experience I've had with that home. I was about 27, 28. And I was just starting to move in, working on getting some things fixed up before I got the kids moved up there. And I was sleeping on the floor on the second floor because no beds, no nothing was there just yet. And I'm scared to death because, I'm in a house and in a neighborhood that I don't even know the area very well.
Right.
So I'm laying on the floor, having a hard time get to sleep. About 1 o'clock in the morning, I started to fall asleep. Next thing I know, I heard a boom downstairs. Something come walking up the stairs, very heavy-footed. And then I heard something being dragged across that hallway floor out to the bedroom where you guys were at when we did the paranormal investigation. And out onto the roof. And it out to the room where I was at and back around and in, and the door flew open.
Really?
Yeah, it scared the living crap out of me. I screamed. The neighborhood came running to see if everything was okay.
That's crazy.
Yes. And my sister came up. It was funny because I was laughing at her. I was like, what are you going to do? Standing behind your boyfriend with a sword and he's in front of you.
Now, you know what? I want to treat everybody to this. I want to show that video when we were there. Would y'all like to see that video?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
So what I'm gonna do is let me do this, and I'm gonna show this video. So
Would it matter?
And Frank, give me the history of what's been going on here.
Well, I've seen a shadow person, and I've also seen a little kid apparition going into the kitchen, also up in the stairwell.
Now, let me remind you guys, they were remodeling this house. They were doing this themselves, and they invited us over to do this investigation. And I tell people, we're not paranormal investigators, we're just enthusiasts. But I just want to throw that in.
I've seen them.
Eddie, how come you don't
I've
look
also
like you're about to rob a?
Huh? What's that?
I said you're about to rob a bank in the video.
That's great. Well, this was during COVID. That's when this was taken.
Yeah, I know.
People like yelling my name, and it sounded like somebody yelling for me, and I come downstairs, and then nobody's even here at the time. So
Now, you lived here for 12 years?
yes,
And you've always had things going on.
yeah.
That's interesting. And this is Dakota.
Yeah, I got something in my eye right now.
Glad to meet you right now. And what's your name? How you doing, Octavia? Yes. So I want you to do me a favor, just give me a little tour of the house. Okay?
We got the living room right here. It's real fast right now because we're remodeling the house.
Right.
We don't.
You know what? I'm gonna fast forward some of this and we're gonna get right to the investigation. So let me go right here. Okay.
Right here, we heard footsteps up here. A lot of stuff has happened in this room.
Look at this wallpaper. I actually like this wallpaper.
Yeah.
Oh. We're infatuated with old stuff. I mean, I'm old and
He's old.
and Jen's still infatuated with me to this day.
I was just gonna say was old stuff.
Yeah.
So I originally bought this house back in 2009. And when I was living up here by myself in this house while trying to do some remodeling work, I heard footsteps, heavy footsteps coming up the stairs. Come up through the hallway, dragging something heavy across the floor. Heard the door come flying open in this room. Then come out to this little.
Misty Mountain Susan, thank you so much for being a blessed one.
Ledge of this roof, drag something across the roof, around to the room where I was sleeping at, and the door to that room flew open.
That's crazy.
So yeah.
Wow. What do you think, babe?
Very
I have also on my bed whenever I was in this room, been laying there and I've felt the bed shake a few times. You sure you wasn't the one rocking the bed? No pun intended. We're gonna do a small spirit box session right in this room, just to see what we can do. Now, you may hear some noise from time to time because they are working on the house, so I'll try to filter out as much as I can. You can come.
Yes, I am a diehard Browns fan. So if anybody has something bad to say about my Cleveland Browns, go ahead, get it on out your system. I am a diehard Browns fan.
My mom always said if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. So I'm gonna shut up.
No, and you're right. Bobby? Sarah. Bobby.
I was
And this is
saying
all.
that I'll be stepping outside for a couple of minutes.
Do you know Greg? I do. Dollz. You know Dollz. That's a damn shame. I had to ask her what was her name again. I just realized that. I'm sorry, Dollz Dolly.
Uh-huh.
That shows you right there. I'm getting old. What do you hear in this house? Can you answer that?
Did you die in this house?
Yeah, he said. Why do you want us out?
No, you. Yes.
Do you want me out? Do you want me out? Throw something right under here. Do you want me out?
He doesn't like it. So I'll move away that way.
If you're here, I want you to come through this box and tell me to get out.
He feels like he's in his space. I don't know, but I'm getting bigger expectations. Do you not like black people?
I'm not prejudiced. I got a color TV. It's obvious we all heard that before.
Yeah.
He's a nurse. Would you like her assistance? Don't be afraid. Don't come through. This is my home. That's what I heard. This is my home.
The person said this is his home. Can you tell me what it is? Yes, ma'am.
What's your name?
Derek. And Derek, it's nice speaking to you.
Derek, are you a young kid? Right.
His name was Derek. Who's Eddie?
Yes, this is Eddie. And you are?
Can you tell me what spirits are in this house with us, please? Proceed.
How many spirits are here? Give me a number.
Don't get Can you give us a name of how many spirits? 10.
10. We have all that outside out there, all that heavenly glory.
Thank you. Were you a family?
You a family member? No.
Were you a whole family that lived here before you died?
You have a message for Dolly?
Why do you want them to leave?
Yeah, this is their house, not yours.
They bought them.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. This is their house.
I know something about Rob. Rob.
I do too.
Rob. They want me to leave because Rob, I'm gonna be robbed.
Will you protect her from getting robbed? No. I'm here to disrespect you. We're here out of life.
That's respect.
You know, I'll bring this session to a close. I do thank you for coming through, but you cannot follow us home or you have to pay rent. God bless you.
What?
Stay blessed. Bye.
To I say 9. They're between 6 and 9 years of age. The little girl has blonde hair, blue eyes. The boy, he's about his size, darker color, like a brownish blackish color, with a little bit of like a hazel brown eyes.
Yes.
It was her kids. I do fear a fire. Yep. From back from like the between the 1950s to the 60s, I feel. It started out from the basement. So I don't know if maybe one of the kids caused the fire playing in the basement. And it just rose to the top. This was I call it the nanny room. It's a nanny room, but it belongs to the little girl. This is where I sense the little girl the most.
Little boy, we usually see in the stairwell.
Yep.
In the bathroom.
He just runs past every single, he just goes back and forth, back and forth.
Let me know in the comments below what you might have heard. And I thank them so much for their hospitality, Greg and Dolly, and they're wonderful kids, man. These guys are fantastic. I want to try and get you all in on the shot here.
I'm Dollz Dolly on YouTube, by the way.
Yes, and I'm gonna put her channel link right in the description right below. Make sure you go by, check her out, like and subscribe. Tell her that Eddie and Jen sent you, and you won't be disappointed. We weren't.
Interesting, huh?
Definitely interesting. A lot of stuff came up in there and it kept trying to say something to me and I wasn't listening because it was my
Right. That's what we caught at Dollz Dolly place. And I'll never forget that. Never forget that. And that's why we're definitely coming back.
You'll love coming to this one because this is a 3-generation property and there is all kinds of spirits here.
Wow. And wow, 3 generations.
I
Man.
wish someone could come to my place that could figure out the black hole of nothingness in my backyard.
Maybe we can get Teddy Pendergrass. Come on and go with me. Come on over to my place. I'm sorry. It just reminded me of a song.
There's a spot out back where you can put on a floodlight out into the field and there's just a black wall. It stops the light.
Really? Wow, that's interesting.
And I am so sure it's a portal and it's huge.
Have you done any kind of investigation on it?
Yeah, Nicole and I have, and I've had someone in Canada come down a couple of times. And we've been warned about Bigfoot. And I've actually seen one here.
And you know what? I'm really interested in Bigfoot. I've been really interested because there has to be some truth to it. You know,
I've had 2 encounters. One was in Massachusetts, where I grew up, on a mountain. I wasn't looking for, well, neither time was I looking for Bigfoot. I really think that's the trick to it. Don't look for Bigfoot, you'll find him.
right, right. It's when you're not looking for him, he shows up. If you're looking for him, he
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah, I was up on a mountain with my boyfriend. We were just sitting on the hood of the truck talking, and there was this horrid smell. It's one you don't forget. And I took note of the direction of the wind, so I know what way it was coming from.
Right.
And it was like behind me and off to the left. And so I just turned my head a teeny bit, and I saw it standing there right along the edge of the woods, just kind of hunched over a little, like it was watching. It was interested. Well, what's going on here? What are they doing?
Wow.
And
A.L. Skinner, thank you for being here.
I said to my boyfriend, just listen to me. What we're gonna do is we're gonna slide off the front of this truck real slow and just get right in, and don't question me. He's like, what's going on? I said, don't question me. And we did it. And as soon as it realized it was spotted, it was gone. You saw it too. We never spoke about it. Never.
Oh, you was afraid to tell anybody because you're afraid you get ridiculed over
We
it.
didn't even talk to each other about it. And I know he saw it too.
Wow. Like Bad Daddy said, they come closer to homes than people realize. I agree with you, Bad Daddy.
I do realize, because I've seen one here. I was doing dishes, and all of a sudden I see movement outside the window above the sink, and it was at night. And I looked up, I looked the one straight in the face. He was watching me doing dishes, and I'm like, Nicole, there's a Bigfoot watching me doing dishes. She went running out the back door, and it was gone, of course. And she came back in. She's like, "Do you realize, in order to see through that window, it would have had to have been at least 9 foot tall?" I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah, and you're right. Wow. Dollz Dolly.
I wasn't scared either time. That's the thing. It was like they were just curious.
Yeah, and I think they are too, but they've been around for so many years that, more and more people are seeing them. And the same with cryptids too, by the way. Whether it's a skinwalker, or something like that, those are becoming more and more, rampant.
Well, we were out back investigating one night. We came in after we were done. Nicole and I were going down the hallway, and we both stopped dead because there was a puckwudgie in the hallway.
Wow.
It followed us in.
Big Ben said, that's why I don't talk about my paranormal experiences anymore. You know what, Big Ben? On this channel, you can talk about all your experiences here. We're not here to ridicule anyone or make a mockery or none of that, because there's something out there. Even though I haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not there. Just because I haven't seen UFOs doesn't mean it's not there. Just because I haven't seen a cryptid doesn't mean it's not there.
Right.
There's so many people that have these stories, and I'm learning more and more about these things. That's one of the reasons why I tuned into Text Front Porch, because
I
I'm learning.
doubted fairies until I went out back one night
Mm-hmm.
and this one bush was sparkling, is how I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got closer, I realized, oh, wait a minute, I got fairies living in my bush. That didn't sound right. Um, okay. I have to learn to reward that one.
Right. Now, Dollz Dolly, do you have one more story to take us out on?
Oh yeah, sure. I can share another story with you.
Yeah, sure. One more with us.
All right. So I don't know if I ever mentioned this one to you guys about going to Yorksville Cemetery to see the witch's grave.
No.
So went with my, at the time, Greg and I was very young. We were dating. Greg, the one that was just talking earlier.
Right.
We were dating, and my friends and I decided we were going to go down to Yorksville Cemetery. And I was telling them all about Yorksville Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
This cross would stand straight up, and at a certain time when you hear the bell ring, like from somewhere in the town, you can hear the bells. And then
Right.
that cross will actually lean over when you look back, and they didn't believe me. So we went.
Mm-hmm.
And sure as crap, they saw it, they watched it, and they took off running. They want nothing to do with it. And then I made it back to the car, and we get into the car, and we get ready to take off. Well, this girl that was sitting next to me, she happened to be a twin
Mm-hmm.
to another girl, and the other girl's name was Dolly too, so that was just funny. But the one that was with us was Jody, Dolly's sister.
Right.
But she was sitting next to us, and she happened to look over when we were sitting at a red light and said, "Wow, that guy looks hot." And we looked to see what she was talking about. And the next thing we know, the light turns green, and this car pulls out from the red light and started chasing us. He went underneath the truck, pulled back out, and started chasing us again. I thought we were imagining what we were seeing. And then we went back to look to see if we could find that car. We could not find that car for nothing. And somebody stopped us and said, "Hey, were you the ones being chased by a car?" She's like, "I saw it all. I got the license plate number down." And I was like, "Yes, can we please get that license plate number from you?"
Wow.
So
That's crazy. That's crazy.
it scared us. I will not go back to that cemetery.
You know what? It
Again,
would have
after
scared
that.
me. It would have scared me too. But the one thing I can't seem to do is back down from a spirit, because I can't back down from something I can't see.
Right.
It's just so hard for me to back down from it. But now if they did the throwing things or something like that, that little poltergeist activity, different story. Adios muchachos.
Yep, exactly. That's why it's like they want to go back, and I'm like, no way, no way.
Right.
I am not in the position health wise to be running if anything happens.
Right. And
Yeah,
that's
I'm a hot man. I appreciate you bringing me up.
Oh, Boomer,
And,
you're welcome here
I'll-
anytime, man.
All right, y'all. Much love.
Much love to you, Boomer. Have a good night, bro.
Good night, Boomer.
Night, Boomer.
As a matter of fact, I am getting ready to bring this to a close. And I want to thank you guys so much for coming up here. Huge thank you to Dollz Dolly, Adventures with Beth. Now, before you all go, I want y'all to put y'all's link in the chat one more time. Everybody out there that has a channel, I want you to put your link in the chat. Please put your link in there. Go by and show each other some love. Show some love. Because in order to get love, you have to give love. That's how you get it back. And when you get it back, it comes back on you twice as full. Go by and check out Christina and Son Ghost Squad. We love Christina. And I'm sorry, I was hoping she'd come up and tell her stories too. We love you, Christina. Everyday Treasures, thank you so much for being here. Kelly, Lavoy, thank you so much for being here. Big Ben, thank you so much for being here. You know, again, Greg and Dolly, you guys, you're family. We have nothing but love for you.
Absolutely.
We love you and those kiddos, man. Give them a hug for us. And we love you guys. If I didn't name you, that doesn't mean I don't love you. I love you. And I hope to see you again next Sunday. I might go live a little earlier. I might go live, might be a little bit late, but we'll get there. And I may have a special guest next week. So I appreciate you all so much from the bottom of my heart. These are wonderful stories, and I love hearing them. And we're gonna do this again. It'll be an episode 3, and we'd love to have you. But if you're not subscribed to us, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you as part of our family. And don't forget to hit that notification bell for future videos. And as you'll notice, I always have that notification bell pink is my salute to breast cancer awareness. And also look out for your local Special Olympics. Go show some love and help support the Special Olympics. Daryl Stanley, thank you so much for being here. Misty Mountain, thank you. Bad Daddy, welcome to the family. And thank you all so much for being here. And until next time, and until next week, just remember, you're the most wonderful person in the world, and can't nobody take that away from you.